Hello and welcome back to my channel. So this week I'm excited to talk about mindfulness and meditation more specifically, and have 3 steps that I'm going to talk about that can help you move towards adding meditation and mindfulness into your life, or it will just give you 3 steps or 3 tricks if you're already doing that. So I hope you enjoy. The first thing I'm going to do is talk a little bit about mindfulness. So this is a practice that originates from the Buddhist tradition. And just a reminder, I took a Buddhism class in my seminary program. We had to do a world religion, and that's what I decided to take. So I do have a quote from Thich Nhat. I talked about him last week in the video where I discussed a thrive mentality. So again, here's his name just so you know how to spell it. This is one of the books I have from him. So this quote is about being mindful and thinking about meditation. When we learn to stop, we begin to see, and when we see, we understand. In this way, we can generate understanding, compassion, peace, and happiness. In order to be fully present for our work, for our coworkers, for our friends, and family, we need to learn the art of stopping. Until we stop and notice what is happening in the present moment, we cannot generate joy, awareness, or compassion. So the practice of meditation is about stopping and acknowledging our thoughts, thinking about them and seeing what the root of those thoughts are and moving through them. It's not to just forget about everything, but it's to move through the things that we're going through, to move through the negative thoughts that we're having in that moment. So meditation gives us the time and the space to sit with those feelings, to examine those feelings and those thoughts, and then to move through those feelings and thoughts. So that is really the beauty of meditation, and sitting and being still and being quiet and being with yourself and those thoughts and those feelings. So again, I'm going to share 3 practical ways to help with your meditation journey. So I started meditation as centering meditation. I started with the Buddhist monks that were at Emory University, because that's when I started it after taking my Buddhist class, as I've talked about. So we had Buddhist monks on campus, and they did centering meditation. So we were in a circle with the meditation pillows, and we had quiet meditation. So that is how I started meditation. And what I did personally is I made a meditation station at my home, and I put things that were important to me. So the thing about a meditation station, if that's what you choose to do, you saw a picture of the one I started with, and again, that was 6 years ago, back in 2014. So the beauty of that is you can put whatever you like. I like candles, and I'm going to actually show you one that I have here in my place now, and it just gives you more ideas. So the thing about the meditation station, and what's important, is to put it where you're going to see it when you first wake up. So you start your day with that intention of saying, I'm going to center myself. You may not sit at the meditation station, but the fact that you see it, it reminds you that you want to be mindful, and that you want to really take your time as you move through the day and be very intentional about what you're doing. So it's just a reminder. But with my meditation station, I did sit there. I had a pillow at that time, and I sat there, and that's where I meditated when I did meditate. It wasn't something I did every day, but the fact that I could see my station and I could see that reminder of what I was aiming for was important. Now, sometimes when I was at the meditation station, I would have beads. So you see a lot of Buddhist monks, they have beads, and those are their prayer beads, and they're touching those beads as they're praying. We also see that with Catholic rosaries. So I didn't have a rosary. I'm not Catholic, and I didn't have any mala beads or things like that. So what I used are these Mardi Gras beads. And let me tell you these Mardi Gras beads. So as I was sitting meditating, every bead, as you move your hands along each bead, you're sending up a prayer, you're sending up a positive thought. Now, these aren't to make fun of Buddhism. These really have a lot of meaning for me. So, my grandmother, she passed away from cancer 6 years ago. And actually, January will be 7 years. And for her, she always thought of pink and the breast cancer awareness sign. And that's not the type of cancer she had, but that's what she equated with the survival journey and the cancer journey. So I actually found these when I was in New Orleans and I got them for her. So when she passed, I got the Mardi Gras beads back. So these have been important for me, and these are what I use as my prayer and my meditation beads, or my Mardi Gras beads. So again, that just gives you all an idea of, if you need something tactile, if you're a tactile person and it's hard to just sit there and say, I'm going to sit in the quiet. If you need something in your hand, what I use this for is because my mind does wander. When I'm sitting in silence, it wanders, and I'm like, thinking about, what am I going to have for dinner or lunch? And I know a lot of people, that's the case when you're sitting in silence. But this gives you something in your hand so that you're constantly remembering why you're sitting there and what your intention is with sitting in silence. So that's the second one. So we have the meditation station, which I'm going to show you one that I have now in my place. And we have the second one is, you may not have a meditation station, but you could have something tactile in your hand as you sit in your meditation. So again, when I started my meditation journey 6 years ago, I had a meditation station. This is not the same one. I did make this for you all because I don't have a physical meditation station anymore. I did have one when I first moved to Iowa, but I've actually done away with that. I don't have one anymore, but I still had the same table, and I just wanted to set it up just so you could see what this looks like. And if I had a meditation station right now, this is what it would look like. So you see, I have things that are important to me. I've had this stone with still on it, be still, for a long time. I always have candles around. Hopefully that Thrive looks familiar from last week. These are actually feathers that I've found over the last year, and I've placed them in this jar. And then I just love stones. It just reminds me to be centered. And you see that I have, again, justice is important to me. This I actually found at a thrift store, and it just reminds me of my grandmother. So you can also have fresh flowers on your meditation station. I put these here. I actually buy carnations often. Again, my grandmother loved pink when she equated the cancer journey and survival, and she recovered from cancer a couple times before she lost her battle with cancer. She loved pink, and she thought about pink, and she thought about that, and she loved carnations. So that's why I decided to add those here. So I showed you all, I did like a mock-up of a meditation station. That table came from the thrift store. The fabric came from Walmart. I think I got it for $1 because I was helping with a project at church. So I got that fabric very cheap, and it can be anything you all want. It could be, again, I don't use a meditation station. I just did that to show you all, if I had one right now, what it would look like, just to give you another idea, since I showed you the picture that I had 6 years ago. So, but now those little trinkets on my meditation station, they just sit around different places in my house. So I've given you 2 ways that you can start mindfulness, or just another trick or tip for you as you are continuing your meditation and mindfulness journey. So the first one was the meditation station, which I've showed you 2 different ways that you could do that. And the second one was using beads, and those could be a variety of beads. The importance is the intentionality, why you're using those beads. And you heard about my story with the beads that I used. So now my meditation looks very different than it used to. Now I actually use YouTube for my meditation practices. So YouTube has a wealth of videos when it comes to mindfulness and meditation. And as you can see, this says deep healing music relief mind body. So for me, now meditation, when I'm feeling something is off, when I'm feeling negative emotions, negative thoughts, I actually turn on meditation music. So, and it may be that I'm stopping. There are times where I just stop what I'm doing if I'm able to. And if I'm at home, I turn on the meditation music, I light a candle, I lay in my bed, I lay on my couch, and I'm just working through. I'm taking that time to stop, as we talked about. Meditation is about stopping and working through, not forgetting, but working through those emotions. So, and I use this even when I'm doing homework as background music. I turn this on at work. If I'm having a stressful time at work, I turn meditation music on in the background. I'm not stopping to meditate at work, but I have that music, that calming music in the background. And it reminds me of being mindful, of centering myself. So I hope you all have enjoyed these 3 ways that you can start or continue meditation in your own life. This has been a very one of the most powerful practices I have added into my life over the last 6 years. It really helps me to get deeply and to really interact with the emotions and the feelings that I'm having in that moment, particularly those negative ones, and really thinking about where those are coming from. Because unfortunately, sometimes we are our worst critic, and this just helps us to get back on level footing, and to really remind ourselves that we are worthy of being loved, and that there is greatness in the world, and this just helps us center and get back to that. And if we're going through hard times, because that does happen in life, it just helps us to move those through those differently. It may not always get better right away, but it just helps us to move through those and to really center ourselves and our soul. So please let me know down below how, if there's certain things that you do to meditate. I'll also put some resources about Buddhism and meditation and mindfulness. And I really hope you all enjoyed this, and I'd love to hear from you all. I hope you have a great day. Let me know about your meditation journeys, and I'll see you soon.